Right, some A-level pure maths. We've got a tricky exponential equation here, which I want to solve in this video. Do save this for later because this is quite a common exam question, solving these tricky exponential equations, right? So you may be tempted to take lunds or lunds or ln's or logs, whatever you prefer to say, on both sides. And then what would happen on the left side is you just get minus 0.5x. Hopefully you can see how that works because the ln and the e will just cancel out. But then we're kind of stuck with this approach, right? We can't really do anything on the right side. There are no rules of logs. When you have plus or minus signs in the middle of two terms inside a log, you can't really deal with that. So this method doesn't work. We're kind of stuck. So the key with this one is you actually want to multiply everything by e to the power of 0.5x to kind of get rid of that negative power on the left hand side, right? And you'll see why that's quite useful. So just times everything that you see in the equation by e to the power of 0.5x. Now what we're basically doing is we're multiplying indices. When you multiply indices, you add powers, right? So what you'll notice on the left side is that that power becomes 0, right? 0.5x plus minus 0.5x is 0. Same on the right side, right? And then obviously e to the 0 is 1. So we've got this equation there so far. Take away 1, that would make sense, because then we get a nice looking equation here equal to 0. Now I want you to notice how e to the x is exactly the same as e to the 0.5x all squared. Okay, just again some basic indices there. So actually let's write the equation like this, and notice how this looks really similar to a quadratic, right? So what you want to do is you want to say that y is equal to e to the 0.5x. I mean, you could choose any letter you like, a, b, c, z, right? As long as you choose a letter, you've then now got a quadratic there. Now we can actually factorize that quadratic like so, or you can just use your calculator, your graphical calculator to solve that, that's fine. So we get two solutions, y is a half or y is minus 1. Now, do we finish there? Nope, because we're trying to solve for x, right? The question is all about solving for x, right? So we're trying to find the x value. So now we can say that e to the 0.5x is either a half or minus 1, right? Because y is equal to e to the 0.5x. Now I want you to notice how that second solution doesn't work, right? It's impossible for e to the power of anything to be negative, right? And if you did try and do that equation, if you do ln's on both sides, ln's on both sides, you'd notice that ln minus 1 is a maths error, right? It doesn't work. So the second equation does not work. The first one does, that's perfectly fine. We can now use ln's on both sides, solve like so, cancel out the e by getting a 0.5x, times by 2 on both sides, we get x equals 2 ln a half, or you could write it like that. Hopefully you can see how that works, that last one.